Everyone thought buying Twitter for 44 billion was a joke and he'd lost his mind.
Yeah.
But he just got his man put back in the presidency, who's now going to potentially do very much what he wants him to do.
Yeah.
So that was a $44 billion mistake that led to over $100 billion being put on the value of one of his businesses overnight. Do you trust Keir Starmer to negotiate with Donald Trump? No. Stephen, I didn't even finish my question.
No. You've got Sir Keir Starmer, who pussyfoots around, beats around the bush and doesn't get on with it, treads on eggshells all the time, compared to Trump, who's just like, no, this is what's happening, this is what we're going to do.
In my head, the Love Actually thing where you got Billy Bob Thornton running all over Hugh Grant. Final question. Does Trump make America great again? Andy, just me and you, we've survived the budget.
Yeah, still it.
And we've survived the American election now.
Yes,
so
we have.
We've got a free run till Christmas,
Ooh.
hopefully. So we're going to talk today about the election of Donald Trump. Can't wait for this to be taken off YouTube in about 3 seconds flat. I just have a feeling we're going to get censored.
Yeah.
Not that we're going to say anything particularly controversial, just because you say Trump 5 times in a sentence and it's all over. But we'll see. See if you listen to it before it gets taken down. The American economy has a massive effect on Europe and the UK. There's an old adage, if the US sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold, right? We had 4 years of Trump. We've had 4 years of Biden. We're back with Donald Trump again. And some crazy things have happened in the first couple of days of his tenure. I looked this morning and I think the S&P 500 is up by about 5% purely on his election. You were looking at Bitcoin. Someone else had looked at gold.
Yeah.
And every single thing was pointing in the right direction, which is rare to see everything up.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good at the moment if you've got investments in those areas. Just going back to Bitcoin, that rose 15%, all-time high of $75,000 a Bitcoin. And that's because Trump is a massive advocate for cryptocurrency. You know, he said he wants America to be the crypto hub on the planet. So he definitely supports it. So, you know, I'm sure there'll be some more millionaires made out there. Especially if they're investing through crypto. But yeah, like you said, there's
you
others.
You need about 13 Bitcoins now and you're a millionaire. That was enough to pay for about... There's always that story about the guy who swapped 2 Bitcoins for a Papa John's.
Yeah,
back in
silly
the day.
man.
He's now about 150 grand down. I can't remember what the wallet was, but it went to millions or something at some point, and he's just lost another 15%.
Yeah,
so.
But as soon as Bitcoin travels up, you'll have the smaller coins that travel up as well, and that's where the multimillionaires are going to be made if you've invested in those small sort of penny ones. That will slowly rise as Bitcoin rises as well. So, yeah, look, some positive things for investors out there if you have invested into that field. But like you said, you know, other stocks, S&P 500, which is your main sort of safe sort of investment.
Yeah.
That's gone up. Others gone up.
You don't see 5% moves on the
definitely
top 500 companies in the States.
Definitely not. And you've seen it with tech stocks as well. You know, the big seven, and Meta and Microsoft and ones like that. They've slowly increased as well. So, yeah, it's all pretty good if you've got your investments in that.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his strange conspiracy theories on things, but from an economic point of view, he seems to be the darling of the market.
It's crazy because you're talking about a guy that says a lot of things that are very controversial. He's attempted assassination twice, been shot in the ear once.
Convicted criminal.
And yet
due for sentencing.
Yet he won the election by an absolute landslide. I mean, this is the greatest salesman in the world. Got to be, because I don't know any other person that could go through all of that and still have the majority of his nation behind him voting him for president. It's crazy.
It's
crazy
a strange
stuff.
one when you bullet point it, isn't it? People haven't questioned his moral or something.
Well, those criminal charges will definitely go away now.
You feel like they might get kicked to the curb, don't
Yeah,
you? Like,
I think so.
That he'll have a reasonable amount of legal power as the president to manipulate his way around for the next 4 years plus before disappearing somewhere and maybe even getting his own picture on Mount Rushmore before he calls it a day. Elon Musk was giving away $1 million a day, I think, at one point in one of the states, which we took an interest in. What's happened with Elon Musk and why is he up to that?
Well, I think that he's been a big supporter of Trump. He's a personal friend to Trump. Do
you think he is?
I think he is. I think well, obviously Elon Musk is known for having a bit of wacky backy here and there, and I think Trump's
definitely getting
but no,
Elon, don't switch my Tesla off, please.
There are 2 Teslas in the company. But yeah, I think they are personal friends, and I think with Elon Musk supporting Trump in the way that he has, I don't think he would do that for no reason. So maybe he benefits in the long run as well by Trump being president. But look, his stocks, the Tesla stocks rose by 14% when he got elected president, adding £113 billion to the Tesla company price. So yeah, I mean he's obviously benefited in a certain way. But I honestly think that they are friends, and he's a massive supporter. And what a great marketing thing. Here you go. Have a $1 million quid and vote Trump.
It's
not bad.
Go with you on a swing state.
It's going to get you some supporters, isn't it?
I'd probably put my morals to the side and join that bandwagon. I'm not afraid to say it. That will probably be my price.
Yeah.
Do you think it was a business decision or it's a future political decision on Musk's point? Is it Musk 28? Could Elon Musk be the president, being he's South African? I don't see why. Well, he's South African, isn't he?
Yeah, don't see why not. He must have
American
citizenship.
I imagine he's got a gold-plated American citizenship at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
if not, Trump will sort him out.
Yeah, Trump will definitely sort him out. But no, I think it's more business decision. I mean, could you ever see Elon Musk as a president? Well, I mean, you're saying that. We said that about Trump, and he's in a second term,
I think he's a more legitimate president than Trump is, to be completely honest.
God knows. I don't know what goes through their heads. But yeah, I think more for Elon, it was a business decision.
Purely business.
But he may get.
He needs a man.
He may get involved in Trump's team somehow and have say on certain things, and maybe that's his step in. But you've never heard from Elon wanting to go down this political route.
He's been very, very front and centre, which is interesting because traditionally, and I know it's probably a UK-based opinion, is the backers will stay very, very quiet and just pump money into political parties in the US, whereas Elon Musk is stood there in a MAGA hat. Everyone thought buying Twitter for $44 billion was a joke and he'd lost his mind.
Yeah.
But he just got his man put back in the presidency, who's now going to potentially do very much what he wants him to do.
Yeah.
So that was a $44 billion mistake that led to over $100 billion being put on the value of one of his businesses overnight.
Yeah.
So those who laughed at Musk, he's just tripled his money.
Very smart guy.
Yeah, not a bad way of doing it. So
not at all.
Here's 3 things which ChatGTP says is going to affect the UK as a result of Trump becoming, if that's a phrase, president of the USA. Defence and NATO. Trump's previous criticisms of NATO could lead the US in reduced support, which would increase the UK's burden on the European security efforts. Obviously, we're talking about the Ukraine, where Trump wants to concentrate on Trump and the US and not siphon billions and billions and billions of dollars off to Zelensky in the Ukraine. He doesn't seem to have a particular interest, or apparently doesn't have a particular interest. Obviously, when the war broke out, we had carnage across Europe with prices of food and different things going through the roof because of supply chain issues, and obviously the gas issues, and that's the utility prices. there's a risk, allegedly, that America steps out of this and leaves it for Europe to clear up, because whether Russia has part of Donetsk region or not, Trump doesn't seem particularly interested in it. He's more concerned about the Mexicans and other things.
Yeah, look, Trump will always do what he wants to do. We've seen that with the policies that he's said, with the support that he's got, with the comments that he's come out with. But I just think that they won't walk away from that. Now, they might reduce things and reduce support into Ukraine, but I don't think that he can walk away. I don't think even he will look at it and think that that's the right thing to do. I think we've all got a part to play in supporting, Ukraine. But I think that the war will come to a close quicker than what it may have or may already do, because I think that Trump and Putin relationship and the conversations that they've already had, according to media, whether it's true or not, we don't know. But I think it will get resolved quicker than what it normally would by, maybe whatever Russia's holding at the moment, they hold. Whatever they're not, they don't. And you go your separate ways and get on with it. You're never going to, no matter how much money goes in to support Ukraine, you will never beat Putin. You just won't. But I think there's a conversation there to be had and say, right, look, it's gone on for long enough. You've got this, they've got this. Let's meet in the middle, and then that's it. And I think the quicker that's resolved, the more it benefits everyone. But yeah, I don't think Trump will walk away completely. He may reduce it, but yeah, that's just my opinion on it. But you never know. You never know with Trump.
More directly, trade and economy. It looks like the US are likely to impose trade tariffs on Europe and the UK. Last time round, we were part of the EU and we were reasonably well protected because it's an enormous trading bloc, and putting a tariff on an enormous trading bloc is a dangerous thing. No, we're not. Brexit, thanks.
Yeah.
Allegedly, we've got a special relationship with the US.
Yeah.
But I think British people have a higher opinion of Britain than most of the rest of the world does as far as its importance in the global economy.
Yeah.
With America being, 6, 7, 8 times bigger than the UK is. So there is a danger with Trump that exports to the US will drop because Trump is going to promote American business first.
Yeah, I mean it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because they've been talking about 60% to China.
Wow.
So yeah, 60% to China, 20% to other places, or 10%, and potentially 0 to the UK because that special relationship that we have with them. But again, he's trying to promote the American businesses, right? So he's, especially with China, would that force China into setting up HQs within America itself, so they potentially avoid paying that. I think with the UK that he won't impose any charge on us because of that relationship that we've got. But if that does happen and he does impose that, then yeah, it's probably going to have a detrimental effect on things, isn't it? Because it's going to increase our costs. We're already in sort of a black hole at the moment. And with costs increasing, potentially we may get into a bigger black hole. But who knows with that? Like I said, it's all hearsay with that at the moment, isn't it? But if it does happen, all right, bit of a negative. If it doesn't, then great, we carry on as normal. But I think there'll be more deals to be done with the US anyway, and it all depends on Keir Starmer, right? It's what relationship is he going to have with Trump? Because
do you trust Keir Starmer to negotiate with Donald Trump? No, thanks to you, and I didn't even finish my question.
No, simple no, and that's because look, we've already seen what certain things that he said about Trump when the election was happening. I mean, I think a lot of people thought Kamala Harris was going to get in. And if you look back at what Keir Starmer said about Trump and how he was supporting Kamala Harris in not a direct way, but in an indirect way, I think he already made his assumption regarding Trump, and that the relationship wouldn't necessarily be fantastic there. And I think you've got Sir Keir Starmer, who pushes foot around, beats around the bush and doesn't get on with it, treads on eggshells all the time, compared to Trump, who's just like, no, this is what's happening, this is what we're going to do. Two completely different people.
It's a full people. Left versus right argument, isn't it?
It's just completely
I've just got it in my head, the Love Actually thing, where you got Billy Bob Thornton running all over Hugh Grant. Yeah. That's the level of my intellect this afternoon. Sorry about that.
But yeah, I just
Someone's going to have to come up with the goods.
Yeah, if you had Keir Starmer in a room with Trump and you were there to negotiate a deal, I guarantee you everyone would pick Trump to come out with a better deal.
And I think that's where our Hugh Grant's got it.
Yeah.
Weirdest analogy ever, but let me know if you like it.
It's a good one.
Financial regulation. You can guess what Trump thinks of financial. He's shown a reluctance towards international financial regulations, such as the Basel rules. I mean, we know he's going to want minimal governmental meddling in financial and business markets, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, if you look, and that's probably why, shares have increased and cryptocurrency especially has increased, because Trump is all about deregulation rather than regulation, right? He wants the minimal sort of involvement that you can. And I think we've seen a massive increase especially in the cryptocurrency, because there was big talk about regulation on that and putting certain things in place which makes it harder to sell, which will bring down the returns on crypto. Trump's just going to flip that on its head. And that's why everyone's like, this is great news.
Yeah.
It's absolutely great news, because nothing's going to happen with crypto now. Because he's just going to say, no, it's fine. It's fine the way that it is. It has been fine for the last 10 years. And let's just crack on as normal. And we don't need to do anything on it. So, and it's the same with, big companies as well, looking at the corporation tax, bringing that down to, potentially, 15% instead of 25 or something, what they pay now. I don't know can't remember the exact figures, but again, helping those businesses, which in turn should free up money from those businesses to put more money back in the economy and do other things as they want as well. So yeah, he's never been an advocate of regulation and stuff, but is there a need for it? No, there's probably not. He's probably doing the right thing by doing that. But I suppose it all depends on how those lower taxes affect the inflation, because it's gonna have a say on inflation. So can he keep that level or down, or is the inflation gonna go up? Because if their inflation goes up, it probably has an effect on other areas as
American
well.
prices are going up, which they have been.
Yeah.
There was higher inflation under Biden than there was under Trump. And Trump's heavily criticised it, so he'd be going against his own criticism if he allows inflation to take off again. But you're right, the theory that you're a low tax economy means it does boost spending. Yeah. Which is the opposite of obviously what we've done in the UK. Can't say much about it, but that's what it is. Final question: does Trump make America great again?
I mean, anyone could probably make America great again, following on from Biden.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Strong thoughts. I mean,
and that's just from what I saw. They had all of that stuff go wrong. They had those protests in America as well when prices were increasing. All right, they brought it down slightly again, but I think you've got Trump, and I think the American people have voted for Trump because they want to see improvements to their economy. And I think with Trump in power, we saw it when he was in power before. The economy was doing great, especially like oil prices as well. His slogan is "Drill, baby, drill." Yeah, because he's going to do more drilling. So again, that will have an effect on things. I just think he's to bring the economy back to where it needs to be in America. And obviously people have voted for that as one of their main things. I think he's the right man to do it. and I think he'll concentrate a hell of a lot on that. You know, we've got a big thing as well about immigration in America for the American people, and they've been quite vocal on that. He's come out and said that he's going to sort it. So, look, with sorting out, you know, it depends what he does with immigration. If he completely cuts it off, then that could have an effect on businesses where they need to pay potentially more money to American people for those jobs to be filled. But again, we just don't know with him, do we? But I think you know, if we focus on the economy part, then I think he's the right man to do the job.
Drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby, drill.
Do you know what? I was this many years old when I realised America is the biggest oil producing country in the world.
Crazy, isn't it?
Never thought that. Didn't
No.
ever see it. But even, you know, but that is what it is. It shows the power of that economy that everybody talks about Saudi, but really the
America
oil is in the States.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And that's where we'll leave it. If you totally disagree, we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Go on.
Put the comments in.
Tell us why.
If we're still on YouTube or any of the socials after our little remarks regarding Biden, Musk, Trump. We've had it all today.
Yeah. So join us next week where we'll be potentially back talking property.